Rudolph the red-nosed reindeer. La 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 la. Ah. Con mi burrito sabanero voy camino de Belén. Con mi burrito sabanero voy camino de Belén. Si me ven, si me ven, voy camino de Belén.
Este es el podcast de Mente y Corazón. Quien les habla, Milagros Hugueto de Sánchez.
Hey language lovers, this is Profe de Mente y Corazón, Milagros Hugueto de Sánchez. I'm super excited to see you again. And this is the podcast by Mind and Heart, de Mente y Corazón. So I'm inviting you, first of all, to subscribe, comment, like, share, and please help us to continue sharing this information with the world. Now, today I'm going to be talking about some experiences I've had with my students beginning this season, Christmas season, the winter break, and all the traditions we talk about in our Spanish class. First of all, I started this episode singing Burrito Sabanero and Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. And it's because those two songs are traditions, are common in our celebrations in Christmas. El burrito sabanero, Spanish-speaking countries, most of the countries in Hispanoamerica, they sing the song. But also Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeers, porque era Rodolfo un reno que tenía la nariz. And then we grew up listening to the song. As a Venezuelan child, I thought that we had reindeers. We have some kind of deers, yeah, in the wild in Venezuela, but no red-nosed reindeer, carrying gifts and presents for kids from Santa's workshop. That's another story. So how did I combine stories with arts, cultures, and tradition that become a powerful tool along with education to create a learning environment in which we are involved, getting students involved in participating, learning, acting, performing, and doing everything they need in order to be active members, active participants of their classes, because they are empowered through a space in which they share their own traditions, their own celebrations, and that's what we do in La Clase de Profe Mila. And I want to talk specifically about what I did last year for my students. I combined my fourth block class, SNS. I already told you in the previous episode. This is the fifth one. Yeah, we're coming to December with the fifth episode of this podcast. Thank you for the parenthesis also. So last year, a week before the beginning of Christmas, the beginning of December, we took time to create some nativity scenes, and then all my classes, all my students were working on designing and building nativity scenes in order to tell the story about the birth of Jesus Christ. And not all of my students are Catholic or Christians, but they understand the history and the story behind that scene. So my students were asked to build scenes telling the story when Jesus Christ was born, the pastor, the cow, the donkey, Joseph and Mary, the angel, the star, the three wise men, and we're going to be talking about the three wise men in, I would say, maybe before the end of this season. Um, so they came up with these amazing nativity scenes, and I say, why? What can I do with these nativity scenes that people could see what they do in my class based on the story they are told and they are learning, and to share it with the rest of the community. So there was an art exhibition with an installation called Borderless City and Nativity Scenes. Something that is done through La Casa de la Cultura, which is the nonprofit organization in which I am the CEO, and Keldy Sanchez, my partner, is the COO. So he curated the exhibition, and I brought my students' nativity scenes. Then I invited people from the community, different organizations. They brought their nativity scenes, and then we gathered. We talked about what do people do during this time of the year. So normally, they drink certain beverages. I'll be talking about. They eat certain traditional dishes, and they dance or sing specific music. So it's beautiful. I want to show you some of the pictures of the celebration from last year. Here you're gonna see pictures, you may see videos, or you can also see some traditional dishes we eat. Now, I'm gonna be talking about those dishes and beverages when we talk about the Advent calendar. Okay, so we finished with the building the nativity scenes. We brought them to the gallery, and then I continued to teach about traditions, history based on the curriculum I was teaching, and then combining traditions from the United States of America, where they live, where they were born, or most of them, and where I live, and how to combine those traditions with their parents, my own, and some of them who were born back in Central America, South America, or the Caribbean. I thought about having a lunch. I would say it was gonna be a Christmas dinner during school. So we replicated a dinner. I say, how is this gonna end up? If these kids, do they cook? Do they know? Well, yes, they surprised me. I thought about having sandwiches and maybe horchata. They brought turkey, ham, um, salad, um, sandwiches also. What else? Quesillo, tres leches cake, and what else? What it was? I will show you. Aquí, pay attention here because I'll show you a picture of what we ate and a video of how they sat down and they were giving thanks to what they believed in, or they were just showing gratitude of being together. Wow. I think of that moment and I want to cry because 95% of those students graduated. They are doing their adult life, working, studying in college. Others are thinking about what to do with their lives. Those I'm encouraging to, do the right thing. Now, going back to the story, we planned the meal. They brought it. They organized everything. I was just giving instructions in terms of structure. You need a tablecloth. Here you have it. You need cutlery. Here you have it. We need cups. Okay. Where are we going to sit? How many chairs do we need? How many people do we have? Are we 16, 18 people? Okay, let's make sure there is room for everybody. And if we have extra, we can invite others because with At school, there is always a student saying, "Could I get some food?" And we love to have a space for them. Now, in the preparation of this celebration, I thought about reinforcing this with activities they do in their own houses based on traditions people do in those countries. If their parents were from Ecuador, they were going to tell me what they do during December, during Christmas, and the New Year, the New Year's Eve. And they at the beginning they hesitated, but then they say, "Yes, I know, I can talk about it." So I say, I don't want them to write it. I don't want them to raise their hand and say it. I wanted to combine the celebration of the Advent calendar that I do every year since I came to the United States, combine it with celebration people do in their countries. So, what did I do? I bought an Advent calendar, and this is an example of what I had that last year. This is a tea, because I love tea, Advent calendar, and also because I'm not eating like sweets these days. So I decided to do it with something I would say that I enjoy and that is not going to influence my metabolism in negative ways. So I had an advent calendar that had surprises every single day, um, from December 1st through December 24th. So if you know the tradition, you know what I'm talking about. If you don't know it, pay attention. So student had the, let me put my computer away for a moment. So they had the advent calendar. So in order, I asked them to choose. Number one was going to be the first student I talked to. I asked them to open the window, and then once they had, oh my gosh, aquí está, yes, yay, December 1st. So here I have Manuka honey chamomile herbal tea. I can't wait to have it. And it has two bags, two tea bags. So one for me, one for Mr. Sanchez. In my students' cases, they had chocolate. So they grabbed the chocolate. And before they, were tempted to eat the chocolate, the piece of chocolate, I asked them to share a tradition their family follow in this time of the year. Okay. I won't tell you the whole story, but I hope you can see part of it on the video I'm showing you here. And the first student is Martita. Martita, she graduated. She's from Ecuador, and she shared with us what they ate. And I lived in Ecuador for I would say 3.5 years, and I remember celebrating eating a lot of food, and the thing I remember the most, I'm gonna have to find pictures, is the tradición of the año viejo. Año viejo. It's like they burnt all the, like, everything that happened through the year, and they burnt the old year in order to renew the energy and bring new positive things. And I remember my friend's Año Viejo. I have one in here because it is also a tradition from Colombia. So Año Viejo, this is Tato. This Año Viejo is from the story Corre Año Viejo Corre, and you can find it on Amazon. And this is an Año Viejo. Imagine this, like human, real adult, 5'4", 5'7", 6 size, and imagine burning this because the tradition says that you're gonna burn all the negative, all that is that should be gone in the life of those people in that community. So in Ecuador, they are made of a different material. These are made of fabric, and the feel stuff with old clothes, stuff like that. But this is cute. This is not gonna be burnt. This is part of my library because it comes with a book. A book you can purchase in order to share with your students, no matter the age. But the story is beautiful. So I'm gonna put Tato away, and I'm gonna go back to my calendar. So I asked my students one by one. I recorded, I remember, at least 8 of them for with the purpose of sharing traditions. So I had one student from Venezuela who was talking about eating hallacas, pan de jamón, ensalada de gallina. Producción, can we have hallacas, pan de jamón y ensalada de gallina? Me siento como, I feel like those people in those TV programs, interactive. Well, why not, right? Maybe for the future. So once they finish opening the advent calendar, that you are supposed to do it one at a time, beginning on December 24th through December 25th. Sorry, beginning on December 1st through December 24th. I have to make that correction. It is important. So we finished with that part. They had eaten, they had shared their traditions. Dominican students shared about the tradition of carrying a suitcase for good luck and for finding the love of their lives. And I asked her, it was a girl, a lady, did you find the love of your life? She said, no. O sea, I mean, you have to keep trying, right? Give it a chance. You're still young. And we did complete the advent calendar 1 through 24, and after that we sang songs. And it was interesting to know that they knew most of the songs, even though they were from Venezuela, Colombia, Honduras, Ecuador, Peru, Mexico. They knew the songs. Of course, we started with Burrito Sabanero, the one I sang at the beginning. And they continue with Ding, 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 es hora de partir. Ding, 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 camino de Belén. And we kept singing and singing and singing. And we said, why don't we do like a dance, a recital in which we can sing the songs we have listened to since we were children? And we did it. We did it. And we did some parrandas. So we visited 3 Hispanic teachers, 2 from Puerto Rico and 1 from Colombia, and then we sang songs for them. It's like caroling, but in Espanol. And what else we did? I remember that we had to do a piece of written evidence of using main ideas and supporting details. And I invited them to write a letter for baby Jesus, explaining the baby Jesus why they needed certain gifts for the new year, for that time of the year. So they used that structure they needed, main ideas, supporting details, and then conclusions, in a persuasive piece of writing. And they did it, and I told them that growing up, we had this idea of writing on a piece of paper what we wanted from baby Jesus, and he would bring it, and if we were good kids. So we started writing those letters, I would say in November, October, November. We were desperate to write the letters and put it in the tree. Once you, because Christmas starts in Venezuela around, I would say, at the end of October. Normally, the people set it up on November 1st, and then we break it down on February the 2nd. For Christian purposes, I'll share with you in the coming episodes. I'll be talking about Christmas. So they wrote the letter following what I did. I put the letter in the tree. I have a Christmas tree in my classroom. They put it there, and then they were waiting for those gifts. I had to read the letter because it was an evaluation. It was part of their uh, it was a unit test, and it was beautiful to see how 16, 17, 18-year-old kids could still be kids and be illusioned and be excited about writing a letter to believe the story of waiting for somebody to bring presents for you the day that person is born, baby Jesus. So we continue with the traditions day after day, day after day. When I first migrated, and I'm gonna tell you a little bit of a personal story, I didn't like anything about Christmas because I didn't have my family here. Back in Venezuela, my father was in charge of organizing every detail with my mother. My mom was at home, organizing everything, getting the Christmas tree, the decorations, painting the walls, buying clothes. And my father was the provider, and he was also supporting in preparations like las hallacas, cooking el pernil, el pavo, or el pollo. So everybody was together. It was a family celebration. But then living in the United States, it was my husband and myself. I say, it's boring. But then my students remind me the importance of celebrating and enjoying the fact that we are together. We still have each other. Me, my husband, and my family is back there in Venezuela. My father and my mother are not here anymore. But I still have my siblings and my aunties and my cousins, and we still say and share love through different media. So I'm gonna stop here because I don't want to give you all the details, and I want to invite you to share, subscribe, comment, like, and be on the loop because I'm gonna be sharing more activities I do with my students during Christmas and before the break, because we're going to be teaching until December 19th and 2025. And I'll share my outfits with you. I'm going to say goodbye, showing you my beautiful Christmas jacket featuring Santa. Merry Christmas.
Este fue el podcast de la profe de Mente y Corazón. Out.